The town has cycled through several different names over the years.
Everett's actually had a total of 5 different names.
It's an old railroad town.
It was brought back to Everett where it belonged.
Known for its valor.
And it goes into great detail about our 2 Medal of Honor recipients.
And for its history.
So the history of this building actually predates the Civil War.
This is your town, Everett.
Good afternoon and welcome. We are in Everett in Bedford County, and one of the most beautiful parts of Pennsylvania. We're here for the Bloody Run block party. All summer long we have been showcasing the people and the things and the items and the history of towns throughout this region that make them sort of unique, and Everett certainly isn't lacking in any of them.
And it is a really fun place to be right now for this block party. I got my face paint, my Heart Marty tattoo going on right now. There's a dunking booth over there that we're really trying to get this guy to go in at the bottom of our show.
You don't have enough money.
So we'll see what happens. But we want to talk about the history of Everett.
It's good. Let's talk about something else.
Like Marty said, and if they would have books, they would film many on the history. There'd also be a few stories about how this town got its name, because after all, it has had 5 names throughout history.
A unique part of local history is the fact that Everett has cycled through 5 different names over the years. Dating back to the 1730s, when Native Americans ruled the now Bedford County land, the Everett area was known as Aliquippa, named after the Indian chief Aliquippus. Then in the 1750s, Forbes Road was being built on the way to the French Fort Duquesne in Pittsburgh, and that's when settlers began to move into the area. A decade later, in 1760, a massacre happened, but there are several different stories about what exactly happened.
There are 4 different stories. Some just says cattle was slaughtered. Other people said the Indians attacked the settlers. Another story, which is the one I believe the most, came from Great Britain. It's in the British soldiers' records that they have over there, saying that they were coming up Forbes Road when they encountered the Indians attacking traders that was bringing food and tomahawks, guns, whatever they were brought through this area. And the battle was right where the Forbes Road crossed over the creek, and the waters run red with blood and run on down into the borough of Everett.
So the town took on the name Bloody Run, and that name stuck until 1770, when a woman named Betsy Tussey opened a popular tavern in the area, and everyone said they were going to Tussey's. The town took on the name. When Tussey died, the town reverted back to Bloody Run for a respectable time until 1795. The town was renamed yet again to Waynesburg, after the military figure Mad Anthony Wayne. It remained so until 1860, when the Bloody Run pops back up again. Eventually, in 1873, the townspeople of the area signed a petition to change the name of Bloody Run to Everett. You might be wondering where Everett came from.
Named after Edward Everett, that spoke in Gettysburg he spoke for 2 hours right after Lincoln did the Gettysburg Address for 15 minutes. And it is said he wrote Abe Lincoln and told him he said more in 15 minutes than he ever said in 2 hours.
Miller says she's done a lot of research and never found anything showing Edward Everett was ever in the town. Says she believes the townspeople decided on the name because the town was prospering with business and chose something less gory than Bloody Run. So we're at the Bloody Run block party, so obviously there are some things here in town that are still named. One thing we want to point out, this is normally held on a Thursday night, but these people are so nice, they moved it to Friday so we could join the fun.
Ken Toll's with us now, and Ken, you were saying that you do this usually every Thursday.
Correct.
And it's grown in popularity. Tell us about it.
I came into the association about 2 years ago, and we just wanted to bring a spark to Everett. and we sat down at the table and we thought we'll do some block parties, and I'm sure there's things that are going to follow. So this is a start for Everett. So we're not near done, but we're going to be here every Thursday for the each month for July, August, September, or June, July, and August. I'm sorry.
Give us an idea of what's here for people who may be watching and aren't too far away and want to come down. What will they find here?
Oh, we have great bands every time, all kinds of food vendors and miscellaneous vendors, anything from jewelry to clothing to kid stuff. There's bounce houses for the kids, there's free snow cones for the kids, face painting for the children, so we have all kinds of neat stuff.
We also have a dunking booth.
We do.
There's Everett's United Methodist Church is here. They're trying to raise money for
I think there was a
kids.
16-year-old that was thinking of getting in there.
Well, Ken, what do you think?
I really think Marty ought to get in. I do. I think Marty should get in.
Now, you realize this is live television, so that everything I ask you right now is going out. All your friends, all your neighbors, all your relatives. You haven't done anything in your life that you don't want to talk about.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm solid.
Certain about that? We've got some people that want to come. No. We really, this is a fabulous idea. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here in your town.
Thanks to all the sponsors, the vendors that come, and the Everett Fund that's been very helpful, the bands, and everybody that's helped out, all the local businesses that's donated money for this.
Yeah, it's wonderful,
right.
buddy. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Good to meet you.
And we'll talk later.
Now, Pennsylvania does have a tradition of naming bridges after heroes, and that case is no different in Everett.
But there is something different in Everett, that there 2 soldiers have received honors, and really that's what makes the bridges here in Everett unique.
2 soldiers, 2 Congressional Medals of Honor, and 2 bridges, all belonging to one town, Everett. To date, there are less than 3,500 Medals of Honor awarded nationwide. 2 of them belong to fallen vets from this small town in south-central Pennsylvania. Over the years, Everett has named 2 bridges that run through the town that thousands of cars cross daily, in honor of 2 men, the first of whom died in World War II, named Sergeant Ellis Weath.
Ellis Weath served with an infantry unit in World War II. He was killed in action in St. Hippolyte, France, in December of 1944. He saved a lot of lives through his actions. He put himself in danger to save others' lives. And for that reason, Ellis Weath was awarded the Medal of Honor.
It's a tradition in Pennsylvania to dedicate bridges to veterans posthumously.
Throughout much of Pennsylvania, bridges are named after veterans, heroes, people that did significant things in service to their country.
The Weath Bridge was dedicated in 1989. In 2012, another bridge was named after a fallen soldier. His name was Sergeant Robert Hartsock, and he died while serving in the Vietnam War. Along with Weath, Hartsock was also awarded the Medal of Honor.
Robert Hartsock was killed in action in the Vietnam War, and he actually saved the life of his platoon commander and a lot of other lives. He was trying to get rid of a satchel charge that was threatening everybody. He was the one that threw it, and when it was in his hands, it exploded.
The Sergeant Robert W. Hartsock Memorial Bridge is located on the east side of Everett. It's also known as the Hopewell Street Bridge. Just as a reference for how rare the Medal of Honor is, more than 16 million people served during World War II. Only about 470 received the medal. And for Vietnam, more than 8 million people served, and about 260 were Medal of Honor recipients.
The cool thing about Everett is, like everything else, the digital age has entered, and in fact, the Bedford County Visitors Bureau has something that's pretty unique if you want to come visit the entire area, including Everett.
It is a self-conducted video tour, and they have these brochures that you can pick up. It's a pamphlet that you can tour in Everett. All you got to do is scan the QR code with your smartphone. That will direct your phone to several videos and tell you about the history of the town and the areas that you are visiting. Really a worthwhile tour, and it really doesn't take a lot of time either.
No, it doesn't. And we have so much more to tell you about Everett. We're going to go to break, but we'll come back with more. We're going to show you a little bit of the festival, the Bloody Run Block Party, as we go to break. We'll be right back. County for the Bloody Run block party, and it's, we're starting to get a lot more people coming in here. And there's so much to do. There's lots to eat. There's things to do. There's a small little swimming pool off to our right. And as we've talked about, the community of Everett is home to what's called the Bloody Run Historical Society.
And even the buildings that house the society have historical artifacts.
It's an old train station appropriately titled the Train Station Museum. Everett's been a railroad town for more than 100 years.
This was known as the Huntington and Broadtop Mountain Railroad and Coal Company originally. And as I said, it ran from 1852 to 1954 when it declared bankruptcy, mostly because of trucking. The trucking industry had picked up and so forth.
Then in 1954, a group of Everett businessmen organized the Everett Railroad Company. Those trains ran from Tatesville to Mount Dallas. They carried passengers who were treated to a nostalgic trip around Bedford County until 1971. That's when the steam-powered locomotive and caboose were sold to the former Williams Grove Amusement Park, located near Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, until someone from Everett went to that park and saw what belonged to the town of Everett.
They ran it in the amusement park until it wouldn't run anymore. And it had been sitting for years. It even had trees growing up through it. So anyway, at the time, we went down, looked at it, and it was brought back to Everett where it belonged.
And how would trains be complete without a train station? This building and the freight station right beside it were moved from their original location to their current spot, and they now serve as buildings for the Historical Society.
This building was the depot. They sold the tickets. The room we're in right now was for the men. The other room was for the women because the men didn't use such good language, supposedly, and they were chewing tobacco and spitting. So that's why they had the two rooms and to separate them.
Right next door is the freight station. Originally, the building had a wall missing on one side, so engines and other train cars could pull in and be worked on, sort of like a garage. All of the restoration done to the train cars and to the buildings in an effort to preserve the town's history.
To try to save Everett's heritage in these two buildings.
And in fact, the history of this town doesn't even stop. It even concerns the road that serves as the main street in Everett. It is part of what we know as Route 30, but it's also famously known as the Lincoln Highway. In 1912, and no, I wasn't here then, in 1912, there were almost no good roads in the country, at least roads that were suitable enough to drive a car. So the idea came about that they were going to build a road, actually a highway, and it was going to run from coast to coast.
Later on in the 1920s, Forbes Road was developed, paved, and became part of the nation's first coast-to-coast highway, which was the Lincoln Highway. You also know it as Route 30.
Now, with the growing popularity and affordability of cars in the 1920s and 30s, the Lincoln Highway certainly became heavily traveled, which led to businesses along Main Street in Everett to adapt to the needs of travelers and the type of services they offered, and it obviously allowed those businesses to grow, prosper, and thrive.
Now today there is a bypass of the Lincoln Highway that skirts around Everett and allows drivers to remain on the highway, but Main Street in Everett is still a part of Old Route 30. It's awful hot out here.
It is very warm out here, and the only thing that would keep anybody from going in a dunking tank might be a lightning bolt or two. So, Tony, if you can find one of those, a lightning bolt or two over the next 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I know somebody here would be very happy. Lightning bolt, buddy. Can you find any?
I have a lot of good news.
No, I just want a bolt. I don't care if it rains.
I have a lot of good news for you. The skies are clearing. No problems for tonight. tonight. Lots and lots of sunshine, not just in Everett, but across all of west central Pennsylvania. If you have any cloud cover left over right now, like if you live in, let's say, Aaronsburg, then southward through about Huntingdon, you still have some cloud cover around, but these clouds are quickly skirting off to the east. Skies are clearing nicely, and we're in pretty good shape here heading into the evening. We had a few random showers firing up this afternoon. They're long gone. Again, with the clearing skies, there goes the rain away from us, and that's pretty much as expected for today. We had the random chance of a shower into the forecast for today, and more of this moving into Saturday and Sunday, but the temperatures will rise more so tomorrow and Sunday compared to what we had out there for today. Check this out, 83 on Saturday. That's the average temperature across the area. The valleys running 3 to 4 degrees warmer than this. The hilltops maybe a degree or two cooler. Same story on Sunday. The deeper valleys running into the low 90s. Just a slight chance of a storm firing up both days, Saturday and Sunday. Much of the weekend will be dry and hot. Get out and enjoy it. When we come back, we'll have more from Everett.
To your town, Everett. We are live at the Bloody Run Block Party, and the crowd is building. You can hear the radio announcer talking about Marty going in the dunk booth, and I can tell you, during that break, he emptied his pocket.
Well, I had all this technical stuff that I had.
But before we get to that, we want to talk about something that's been around in Everett since 1802.
And no, that wasn't me.
And it claims to be the centerpiece of Everett ever since.
It's actually been a hotel, it's been a tavern, it's been a barbershop. Hunter, it was also a jail at one time, wasn't it? I mean, it's been a lot of things and so many years of service. It's called the Union Hotel, and it's something very special to this community of Everett, as Maria Miller tells us.
Predating the Civil War, the Union Hotel has changed occupations a number of times, from a hotel to a restaurant to a town hall, even a jail at one point.
It's been so many different things. It's been the post office, it's been the town hall, it's been a barber shop, it's always been a tavern, it's been storefronts. So this building has always been a central piece of the community.
In the 1750s, Michael Barndollar, the founder of Everett, built his family a house. Before the Civil War started, the Union Army occupied the house, and it was then renamed the Union Hotel.
During the Civil War, they actually put a couple jail cells down in the basement of the building, and they held a few, I guess, POWs from the Confederate Army in those jail cells.
If you fast forward a little more than 200 years to 2009, the building got a total renovation, making the first floor a restaurant and bar. In the basement, there's a tavern, and in the upper 3 floors are hotel rooms.
A lot of the people that come here and stay are planning on using the Union Hotel as their hub, and then they basically explore the entire county.
Weber says guests are treated to a mini resort feel when they stay at the hotel because they have a restaurant and tavern on site. He also says the hotel even has a ghost for those who are looking for a paranormal experience.
This bed, supposedly, in the middle of the night for 2 of our guests, just started shaking to the point that it woke them both up, scared them, they didn't know what was going on, they left.
But Weber says he spent time in the building at all hours of the day and night and has never experienced anything paranormal. After our tour of the hotel, we asked Weber what makes it so special.
Well, I think what makes the Union Hotel in Everett so special and unique is that we have each other. You don't usually find a place like this in a small town. And I think that's what makes us unique, is that there aren't very many places like this.
We've got our shoes off. Well, he won't let me show them. We got our money ready. Marty's going to go in the booth. Take a look at it. We're all ready for Marty. Will he do it? We'll see after the break. At the Bloody Run Block Party in Everett, Bedford County, and it is a beautiful Friday evening here. There's a foundation tradition at the Everett School District that's helping a lot of its students and staff. And we're not just talking about the football team, the art club, or even the marching band. It's like everyone in the school is a big family. And in this week's Making a Difference, Lindsay Ward finds out how so many are benefiting from the program.
Welcome to Everett Area Middle School High School, where we shake off all the negativity.
This video, created last year of students in grades 6 through 12, including staff, shaking it off to a Taylor Swift hit, has over 450,000 views on YouTube. But for the Everett Area School District, it's not about being popular. It's about being a team and encouraging others to reach their goals.
It is a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of thought, and there's a team of people that really work hard to do it.
This video is just one project associated with the school's Renaissance Foundation. Renaissance, meaning rebirth, is actually a national foundation, and in 1992, staff at Everett decided to bring the program to their school. Its focus is on helping all students.
And we decided we have to do something too to say National Honor Society is important, Envirothon is important, and the other academic areas are important.
Because of Renaissance, these clubs are able to thrive and exist.
Build the pride back in the community and back into the students.
Jim Merkel is the Renaissance Foundation chairperson. He tells me the nonprofit provides opportunities for students that weren't there before, such as attending national academic conventions. It's the type of program that the staff needs to buy into as well. Majority of the foundation's funding comes from them.
They see how it's benefiting the school. They see how it's benefiting their students. They see how it makes their life easier here in the building.
It offers projects to get everyone involved. For example, last year they started an I Will wall inside their school. Students here decide what goals they want to accomplish, big or small.
I will not be tardy to class. I will do all of my homework.
And when they do, they get rewarded.
Gift cards to the student store. We have the Brew Crew cart that goes around on Fridays. They got to have Brew Crew for free on Renaissance. Then at the end of the year, they got a huge carnival out in our back patio.
And when the staff here isn't busy helping students achieve a certain grade, they're helping their families in need.
Do a dress down fund on Fridays where we give $2 each Friday. And that doesn't go towards academics. That doesn't go towards, any kinds of teams. That goes if a family's having a hard time.
And we are back at your town, and look who we have here. We have Marty.
They don't pay me enough. They don't pay me nearly enough.
Everybody.
All right.
Got my cash. I'm going to give that to you. I've been waiting a long time for this. A long time. I want to hear Marty. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. This water is awfully cold.
You know what? I give you credit, my friend.
This was because of my daughter, my son-in-law, my grandson, who blew up my phone and told me I wouldn't do this. Don't ever dare me to do it.
And he did it for the kids.
Yeah,
if you have time,
you have to come out here now because we want to help these kids out. I'm going to get back up. Somebody else, you got to pay for it though. Gary, get over there.
Hey, Everett, it's been great. Thanks for having us. We are back at this next Friday. We're going to be in Evansburg for the downtown shutdown. We'll see you then. 6 News at 6 is up next.